Please hold the line. Please hold the line.
Hello, I'm Krista Hart and welcome to Roadtest, the technology show that's brave enough to ask why is it that lions, the undisputed king of the jungle, 400 pounds of muscle, claws and razor-sharp teeth, are scared of men wielding kitchen chairs. Well, over the next 30 minutes, we'll be watching 3 viewers playing with some of the most interesting kit we could find. But first, we need to say hello to our regular panel of experts who are here to excite us with their wisdom and quirky fashion sense. First, we have technology broadcaster Bob Tomowski, commentator and columnist Steve Shipside, sorry Steve, and Liz Bailey, technology editor of Red Magazine. Our first road tester is someone who needs a bit of electronic organising.
My name is Mandy Leung, I'm 25 and I'm a textile designer. I'm looking for a new kind of file of facts to organise my business and personal contact numbers and things like that.
So, Mandy wants a new Filofax. Well, at this point, we thought it was about time we talked about the good old British PDA. So, we decided on the Scion Revo. Let's see if it was an enjoyable date.
I'm road testing this Scion Revo. This is it, it's £260, just got it through the post. Comes in this box. It's supposed to connect to your mobile phone and your PC and to the web. This is the actual thing. It looks kind of cool. It's got a docking kind of thing that this sits on somehow, and a charger, and a funky little handbook. Ooh, there we go. I'm hoping to use my Revo to put all of this into there. I've never used anything like this before, no Palm Pilots or Scions before, so I'm a complete novice. My first impressions of the Revo was that it looked kind of cool and slinky, and I sort of discovered there's a pen in the back just kind of hidden here. It just looked like something very interesting and something I'd like to explore more. It was really, really easy to use. It looks the same as like a normal computer. Had no trouble whatsoever. And the keypad is something that you're familiar with. It performed perfectly well. It just didn't crash on me. It slips into its kind of docking station really simply, goes into your PC really easily. I managed to delete a few files by accident, but managed to retrieve them, so I'm quite pleased. The keypad took a little while to get used to, but other than that, it sort of worked fine. If I could change a few things about this, I might want to have a coloured screen, because that would make it more fun to use. I think this product is aimed at people who have quite busy lives, who've got a lot of things to organise, and contacts, and maybe people who are always on the go. Scion comes with a really cool docking bay, and you just literally open your Scion, put it onto a docking bay, clip it on, and that's it. And then the docking bay goes into your PC, etc., etc. It's really simple. When you get this Scion, the first thing that comes up is this screen saying welcome to Revo, and it's just literally like a whole spiel about thank you for buying Revo. And then you just literally go to this first page and you can just start making new files for whatever you need to have files for. I've got one file that's got all my expenses listed. This is the contacts section, and you can just find all your phone numbers and addresses that you need. There's this thing where you can send information by infrared. You can send any information on any file to another Revo, and you can receive as well, so that's quite good. I just like the fact that it looks good and it's easy to put in notes and ideas and thoughts when you're on the move.
Well, are the Scion PDAs any better or worse than the rest of the PDA market? Now, Steve, I know you have a Revo yourself. What do you think? How does it shape up?
Damn, bang to rights. I do have a Revo, and I'm a bit of a Scion fan. But I do have a problem with Scion in that you know, they seem destined not to learn from the historical mistakes of the past. And Scion do some great machines. They do the Series 5, which for me, I'm one of the few people who can actually use that keyboard on the Series 5. It is a computer shrunk down, and that's wonderful. And at the other end of the scale on the PDAs, you've got the Palm Pilots, which are wafer thin little PDA that slips in your pocket, and that's great. And what Scion keeps trying to do is invent something in the middle there. They did it before with the Sienna, and now they're doing it with the Revo. And yes, it is quite slim, it's quite small, but for my money, it's neither a full functional computer that you can just about put into an outside pocket, nor is it as slim
So
and
compromising
sexy
in both
as the Palm.
senses.
So it's, they're invading Russia in winter again, as far as I'm concerned. They've done this before, and I don't know why.
But hasn't it got the best keyboard of all the PDAs, Liz?
I couldn't use it. I've got quite small fingers, and I have had a lot of trouble typing on them, and I'm not sure about the handwriting recognition. I mean, my big argument with them, of course, is that they're not particularly good for people who use Macintoshes. I gather that they've done a lot of work on the syncing up cable and the software so that Mac users are going to be able to use them more efficiently in future. But nobody who uses a Mac would ever want to deal with that operating system. It's clunky, and it's very PC-like. It's not fun to use in the way that a Mac is.
What do you think about that?
Probably true, although the thing about PDA is because it's such a personal thing, everybody loves their own operating system. You don't know anybody who says, oh, I hate the operating system. Whenever you're used to it, that's it, you're happy with the thing. When they actually launched this, they launched this as being the first real PDA that was absolutely email ready right out there, and everybody in the room thought, brilliant, finally, they've built a modem into this thing. And they haven't.
It doesn't work.
No, so you can get around this because, rather fortunately for Scion, they've been slightly saved by the fact that phones have got so much smarter that a lot of phones can take on the modem function.
Yes.
But if you have to buy the modem, then all of a sudden you're starting to have quite a few lumps in the pocket, and you lose the whole thing about having a slim PDA. So I wasn't very happy about that. And one of the things that really did catch me out is that a lot of PDAs have a little backup battery, like a little watch battery, those little tiny round things that you slip in somewhere. And the reason for that is that after a while, you know, if you're wandering around away from home, and you've probably left, because you're not very clever like me, you've left the recharging unit away somewhere, you will eventually, the thing will have to shut down. And the backup battery just gives it enough to save that data so that when you finally plug it in and recharge it and boot it up again, everything's there.
Yeah, that's not bad, because that would be my worry, because I'm a big fan of
This
the written
one
word.
doesn't have that. So unless I've missed it somewhere and there's a hidden battery, it doesn't seem to have it. So I've lost all my
Do
data.
you use a PDA, Bob?
I do indeed. I use the Scion 5, and I think the great things about them is that the battery life is generally very good. But the downside of this one is that it doesn't have a backlight. So if you want to do your computing and your typing and it's very dark, maybe you're on a plane and you don't want to switch the light on, or you know, you're in a dark room, you can't see the screen. The reason why, of course, it's not a colour screen is so that it doesn't drain too much battery life. So, you know, it's got good points and bad points. Personally, I think Scions are great, but give me my Series 5 any day. I don't think I'd like this one. Also, I agree. I think the screen, the keyboard is just a little bit too small.
Right, well, let's see what our tester thought of it.
It's easy to use, a little bit expensive. I think I will seriously consider getting one. It's completely replaced my finer facts. I generally give it a thumbs up.
Well, she likes it. And don't forget to let us know if you want us to rearrange your life with a road test. Now, time for our second test.
Hi, my name's Martin Dorr. I'm 30 years of age and I live in Leighton in the East End of London. I work as an administrator for a record distributor. I've asked Roadtest for something to help me get my flat cleaner as I keep having to clean up after my flatmates.
Something to clean up after his flatmates, eh? Well, barring Bob in a pinny and Steve in a feather duster, what a thought. What could we give him? Join us in a minute or so to find out.